Hi, I'm Starry, and welcome to this tutorial on creating monochrome art in Clip Studio Paint. Have you ever heard the Orson Welles quote, "The enemy of art is the absence of limitations"? Sometimes having too many options can be a hindrance in creativity, leading us to overwhelm. So let's get over that fear of starting by simplifying our process down to one color and its shades and tints: monochrome. The first thing I want to show you is how to create your own color set. Go into Window, Color Set. And then to create your own, click this little wrench icon and then create a new set. Let's go ahead and create a monochrome set in blue. Click OK. If your set is kind of small on the screen, go ahead and pull the side of the window, and then let's find on our color wheel a blue that we like. We're going to focus on the most saturated color here, and then we're going to create a line on our color set, selecting colors from the top of our square in the color wheel, which will be the tint to saturation at the top. So basically white to blue. And I'm going to pick 6 different tints from white to blue, somewhat evenly spaced from left to right. So first I'll click my square and I'm going to select a color that is in the white area, and then I'm going to click replace color. I'm going to click the second square. I'm going to pick something around here, and I'm going to keep doing that roughly evenly 6 times across. The reason I'm picking 6 is because there is a fairly obvious tint scale from white to blue. And if tutorials like this help you, please like and subscribe to support the channel. Now that I've established my tints, I'm going to click one of the empty squares down here, and I'm going to start adding squares by clicking Add Color until I've created a 6x6 square. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go tint to saturation one by one, and then go down from tint to shade. First, I'll click on the white square, and you can see that our color picker automatically jumps to that section of the color wheel. Then I'm going to make sure to click the blank square below it, select a darker shade, and remember we're selecting 6 shades as evenly as we can from top to bottom. Select our second shade and then replace color, and keep going like that. Then I'm going to pick my next square in my saturation to tint line and do the same thing. And continue doing that for the entire square. I like to add a solid black in one of the outer squares. This will be important when we're adding more contrast to our drawing. Now you have a super useful monochrome color set that you can continue to use. So let's get to some exercises. Above your paper layer, go ahead and color pick something right in the middle of all of your colors here, and use the paint bucket tool to fill. And now, using a painterly brush of your choice, go ahead and try this. Paint from left to right, going line by line and overlapping. Now go into your blending tools, or hit J on your keyboard, and try the Painterly blender. You can mess with your tool properties here if you like, and just gently blend out each line that you made. Now try blending each line with the background color. If you want a softer blend, you can try the blur effect. You can also try the classic blend effect. You can try the fingertip blender for some smudging or smearing effects. Now let's add some black to each color line. And we'll use the Painterly blender to blend it in to see what effect we get. Let's use the blur tool to blend it out some more. Now let's see what happens if we add our most saturated color to each set. And then blend it. How about adding white? The beauty of working in monochromatic is that our eye sees contrast as form. Contrast being the distinction between white and black. So even with a limited color palette, we can still represent form very well by implementing contrast into our painting. Let's make some trippy op art. In your gradient tool, or G on your keyboard, check foreground to transparent, and then making sure that the foreground color is selected. Choose one of your colors from your color set. Zoom out with your circle shape selected and with the edge process repeat selected. Click and drag somewhere outside of your canvas. And a repeating circular gradient will appear. Now pick a slightly different color and from a different angle do the same thing. And you can get some really interesting effects just by layering this gradient. Of course, you can use just the simple straight line gradient without the repetition, and you can build some really nice gradients that way as well. On top of your gradient, try painting in some forms. And don't forget to use your lock transparent pixels option, which is this alpha with the lock. So you don't have to be so precise when you're painting. When you're painting monochromatically, the closer you get to black, it's likely that your color is going to be more gray, and the closer that you get to white, the more saturated it will be. You can also use your airbrush to introduce some gradient effects around forms. This is especially effective when you're using lock transparent pixels. You can try airbrushing in a shadow below your object. And use the blend or blur tool to blend out your shadow. Try painting in a lighter background than your object to see it come forward. You can crisp up some edges with a hard brush, and then going back in with a softer brush. Try adding in some random mark making. Monochrome is already rather abstract, so it allows us a lot of creativity to just play around with brush strokes and stuff. It really lets our imagination fill in the blanks. Try playing around with overlay and multiply on your layers. Just playing around with your color palette to see what you can come up with. I'm just working very intuitively here to see what happens. There's lots of different tool settings that you can play with. You can even try playing with the Liquify tool. So Liquify is over here, and you can see under the modes there's different types of Liquify effects. You can spin things, you can bloat them, drag them around, and all kinds of different effects. Remember that when choosing your color palette, that humans react to different colors emotionally. For example, we have a blue color palette here, which suggests sentimental, watery, soft, mysterious. Whereas this color palette is really aggressive looking. It's hot pink. It's rather artificial. It looks like artificial light. It has sort of a cyberpunk vibe. And even though it's a limited color palette, it has a very different feel than this blue image. So definitely keep that in mind when choosing your color palette for your monochromatic art. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what tutorials you'd like to see, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!